Hello friend, today I'm going to share whether animals have language.
And I'm going to share my #1 film from Sundance 2022. Let's get to it.
My cool sheet is a video, and this video is called, Do Animals Have Language? All right, animals communicate, we all know that, but here is the question that is posed in this video. Do they have an actual language? So first we have to understand, what is it about communication that does bring it to the level of being an actual language? So in order to be considered a language, as we humans define it, it needs to have 4 elements. So the first one is something called discreteness. And so this is where you use sound or words that can be combined to create new phrases to express new ideas. It needs to have grammar to be considered a language. So that would be a system of rules. And it needs to have this element of productivity. And that means this ability to use the language to create new ideas, however you do that. Displacement is another term. And I was like, displacement, what does that mean? Well, this means this ability to talk about things that aren't right in front of you in that moment. So this means being able to talk about something that happened in the past or that will happen in the future, or to talk about imaginary events. So then it goes into looking at different animals and assessing them. What are they doing, and is this considered a language? So here's an example. Cuttlefish, they change their color to warn predators and to communicate. Crabs are snapping their claws to show they are ready to mate. And bees dance to give information to other bees, former cool sheet, about location of flowers and things like that. So which of these count as language? So it goes through which ones do and which ones don't. So for example, the cuttlefish and the crabs, nope, does not count as language. They're not recombining these different ideas and fitting into that format of what would be a language. But the bees and waggle dance, they do. And they're expressing this property of the displacement with their moves. They're talking about, where's that other thing? It goes through prairie dogs. I didn't know about prairie dogs, but they do that too. Prairie dogs have that in common with bees, which is amazing. It goes through all these different examples. It's really fascinating. I love language, so check out this video. Do animals use a language?
Oh, this sounds so cool. Who's this video by? Is this?
It's a TED Ed.
This is another TED Ed one.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I know.
Gosh,
I love them.
They're so good. I had a feeling because I was like, this really sounds like another TED Ed video because it just sounds so good.
TED Ed knows, or YouTube knows me. They're like sending me videos. I'm like,
well, that's great. You're like, hey, another new cool shit every week.
Exactly.
Which is perfect. But yeah, this one, First of all, you had me a waggle dance. I was already like, all right, I need to watch this because I love little bees and they love dance, and that's all, super fascinating.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Oh my gosh! But I gotta tell about the prairie dogs. The prairie dogs, they like so cool. Kind of chipper at each other.
Yeah.
They tell each other what kind of animals nearby, and if it's a human, they communicate what the human is wearing and whether the human is carrying a gun.
Whoa!
I'm not kidding.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yes.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's wild and so cool.
I know.
Like, good job, prairie dogs.
Yes.
Figuring it out and sounding the alarm. I know that, I know crows have tons of communication and things like that.
Sure.
We've talked about crows before, and Kaylee, who's former cool sheet.
Yes.
Yeah. So knows about all that kind of stuff. So wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Can't wait to check it out. Thank you.
You'll like it, and it's short.
Hey, there you go. Even better. All right. I'm going to be talking about my favorite film. And like I said, the last two are neck and neck, but this one, I still put it as my #1, and it is Nanny, and it is directed by Nakayatu Jusu, I believe. I hope that's how you pronounce it. It's actually her debut feature. It's about Aisha, who's an immigrant nanny, and she's piecing together a new life in New York City while caring for a child in the Upper East Side family, and is forced to confront a concealed truth that threatens to shatter her American dream. Now, this is kind of labeled as a horror film, or at least that's how it was described to me, or in the description. Something gave me that idea. It's not really a great description. I would call it more of a suspense thriller. And I will say that right off the bat, the cinematography in this is mesmerizing. It is so beautiful. So the way it's shot, the photography, how it looks, the slow build of tension and stress and uneasiness, reminded me of some of my favorite movies in the past. So I don't like jump scare horror as much. I mean, I do enjoy them, but they're not like the movies that stick with me. It's more this tension, this uneasiness, the stress. Those are the things, and how it's a slow build. It's similar to like Parasite, how it's just this underlining tension that it keeps ratcheting up. So I'm not saying it's the next Parasite, but I'm saying it's really good and similar. And if you liked it, you might like this one. Aisha is played by Anna Diop. And she's been in some other things, including like a Titans, or I believe some kind of superhero TV show. But she is good. This one, I hope, is her breakout movie, because she is so good in this. Like I said, she plays this immigrant from South Africa who then is trying to essentially bring her son to live with her in the United States. So she's kind of taking this job in the meantime. The marriage this couple that she's working for, it's just not going so well, and it kind of starts unraveling. Then it touches on capitalism, trauma, mental illness, patriarchy, and white privilege, so many things. Some of that will rub people the wrong way, but it really worked for me. Then it floats into the mystical, and it just goes from there. Sometimes you don't know what's real, what's happening, what isn't, and that can be bad. That can be go really south fast, but they really pull it off here. It really worked for me, and I love it. Nanny.
From your description, I am sold. I know I'm going to love it.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's just, it got really, I was surprised, mixed reviews from critics, from top critics.
Interesting.
And that really surprised me, but there are some hot button issues for sure. The patriarchy definitely rubs people the wrong way, you know, gender roles, who's the leader of the family, capitalism, certainly white privilege, they hit that head on. And that's a really hot button for a lot of people. Even people that think they're progressive and they just don't like dealing with it and they get defensive, they put the guard up. I don't know if it had anything to do with that, or these critics just know way more about movies than I do, but I loved it. A lot of my other friends that saw it liked it a lot. And again, it was a movie that you keep thinking about later.
Yeah.
So that's why I always like those movies a lot more than when I see, I enjoy, but then it's just like, I never watched it. You know, I never think about it again. It's a fine movie, but it's not going to make my top 3.
I love that it has great cinematography too.
Oh,
that is
so gorgeous. That alone is worth watching. It's just so beautiful. You could, if you're not digging it, just turn the volume down to mute and just watch this spectacle, because it's so beautiful.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All of our show notes, you can find those at 10bestest.com/exactly. Thank you for joining us, friend. I'm Karen McFarland Holman.
And I'm Brian Hart.
Let us know in the comments, do you think animals have a language?
And let us know what's your favorite independent film.
If you're enjoying this show, please give us a like and share it with a friend.
Stay tuned next week for another great series of shows.
And don't forget to stay curious.